Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and we love helping the well-dressed take care of their wardrobes. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite ties that I really enjoy wearing on a regular basis. Despite an extensive and ever-growing collection, these are the ties that I just find myself going back to time and time again for those special occasions whenever I really want to look my best. If you have any questions or comments during this video, please ask them in the comments section below. I enjoy getting back to as many of you as possible. Back in college, whenever I first started dressing in a suit and tie, I naturally gravitated towards and bought ties that were bright and caught my attention. But inevitably, once I took those ties home, I quickly discovered that these sorts of ties were incredibly limiting. One of the things I began to notice with my best dressed friends was that, while striking, their ties were actually quite subtle and subdued. These were ties that always looked great, but were never flashy and really stood out. They were part of an ensemble that worked together. So after years of trial and error and observing and learning from others, which is honestly how one develops good taste, these are the ties that are now amongst my favorite and never let me down whenever I want to look my best. One element that all these ties have in common is their incredible versatility. They're able to be paired with almost anything, especially when worn with a freshly pressed white shirt, the apex of elegance. These ties just look awesome. They represent a few of the basics that are almost impossible to go wrong with, and paired with a gray, navy or black suit and a white shirt, it's almost impossible to not look great. Especially with the white or slightly contrasting pocket square, it just elevates the ensemble to another level. So without further ado, let me share some of my favorite ties with you. First, every single wardrobe needs a plain primary color grenadine tie. Here I've got two of my favorite grenadine ties, a subdued burgundy and a navy. These are grenadine finos, which means that the weave of the grenadine pattern is a smaller, finer weave than a standard grenadine, which is quite loud. What I love about these ties is the fine texture makes it a more formal tie than a standard grenadine, yet because of the woven fabric, you still have visual contrast and texture to this tie that would otherwise be solid. I absolutely prefer a grenadine finoed solid tie over, say, like a solid satin tie because of the soft texture you get from the way that this fabric is woven. This burgundy tie would be equally appropriate during the daytime as it would the nighttime, and this navy tie would look fantastic with a navy suit and a white shirt in the evening. Absolutely beautiful ties and are staples of any well-appointed wardrobe. Next, I have an ancient madder tie, which is probably one of the most interesting forms of silk today. Ancient madder is an incredibly rare type of silk that is only produced out of one factory in the United Kingdom. For it to be real ancient madder, it has to come from Keats silk. Now, what really distinguishes ancient madder is that it is first hand screen printed and then dipped into an indigo bath. And whenever you pull the tie out, the areas that weren't printed with ink are filled or dyed with the ancient madder. If you look right here, that particular color of blue is the indigo blue from ancient madder. One of the other things that makes an ancient madder tie really special is that during the dyeing process, which uses these very old pigments, the silk actually breaks down and produces something that's called a madder hand. So whenever the silk breaks down, it just produces a nice chalky hand that is totally unique to ancient madder and just something that's special and that I just enjoy feeling as I handle the tie throughout the day. Another thing that's special about ancient madder is that you really only find them in earthy tones, which just makes them that much easier to wear. This particular pattern has always been one of my favorites and is one of my go-to ties, especially when traveling. Next, we have what is just a simple screen printed silk twill that's in a nice kind of brighter burgundy with a blue flower motif. So this is a Macclesfield tie, which is really generally any small repeating geometric pattern. And I like this tie because, again, it's simple, it has a primary solid color that it goes very well with a white shirt and a solid suit. but I like the fact that it's just a slightly brighter burgundy than this one here. And so if I'm looking for a tie that pops a little bit but still quite subtle and refined, I really enjoy wearing this. So next we have another one of my favorite ties. This is a burgundy, but as you can see, it's a much earthier burgundy than even this burgundy grenadine. So if I put these three ties together, you can really see kind of the variation here, but these reds, especially the burgundy, this one's a little bit on the loud side. Of all the ties I have here, I'd say that this one is probably the loudest. But these two right here are incredibly classic colors that just go perfectly with solid white shirts and a navy, a charcoal, or a black jacket. So although these three burgundy or red family ties are all different and incredibly unique, they're incredibly versatile because these ties use traditional, more muted colors and simple classic patterns. Now next, of course, we have a regimental striped tie. Now no tie collection is complete without at least one regimental tie. So this rep is just a simple, beautiful navy twill with a light blue and a silver stripe. And again, simple colors, easy to wear, and incredibly versatile. Now next we have what is probably one of my all-time favorite ties. It was given to me as a gift from a sartorial mentor, and I liked the tie so much and found myself wearing it so often that I actually had this silk copied so that we could make it here as a sovereign grade tie. What we have here is a simple yet incredibly elegant black and silver basket weave that has a beautiful hand and texture to it. And as I have just evolved in kind of dressing, I really find myself going to these monochromatic color palettes because it's just impossible not to make them look great. So this tie with a white shirt, a charcoal suit, and white pocket square with its monochromatic tie just couldn't be improved upon. I wear this tie quite often with my stroller, which has a black odd jacket, of course, and it just is to absolutely die for. A stroller, which is the least formal of the traditional English dress types, is worn with a black jacket, either pinstripe trousers or a pair of gray trousers, and a waistcoat. This tie looks absolutely fantastic with. I love this tie. It's easily one of my favorite ties right now. Every single time I wear this tie, I get compliments. And lastly, we have just another really simple navy Macclesfield tie, again with its simple flower motif, a kind of geometric pattern. It's a silk twill that is hand screen printed, and it's just a beautiful dye and discharge tie that would go just as well with this outfit. Nothing incredibly striking about this tie, but it's incredibly elegant. In my opinion, an incredibly elegant tie should not scream, "Look at me." It should complement an ensemble and elevate it, refine it, and polish it. So by far, these aren't my only favorite ties. I have many ties in my wardrobe that I enjoy wearing. These are 8 that I felt really exemplified the characteristics that I look to in a classic tie. Of course, these ties are all sovereign grade, are made to the absolute highest quality standard, and you can find them online at hangerproject.com. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed sharing with you this small sample of some of my favorite ties. If you have any questions or comments about anything we discussed in this video, please ask them in the comments section below. I enjoy personally getting back to as many of those comments as possible. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications by clicking the bell to the right of the subscribe button so that you know whenever we release new videos. And of course, please visit hangerproject.com, where we have the largest, most comprehensive collection of luxury garment care and shoe care accessories in the world, as well as many other incredible products for the well-dressed. And while there, please subscribe to our newsletter to receive notifications of new product launches, promotions, as well as a weekly digest of all the videos we publish here on our YouTube channel. I'm Kirby Allison, and we love to help the well-dressed take care of their wardrobes. Thanks for joining me.